on. I was hoping Monique would be here earlier tonight. No, I'm sure I can do it. Was that the other meeting?
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, how are you?
I am well.
Oh, yeah, Dina is gonna come. No, that's not coming. She's not coming.
We want to turn on the video?
Yeah, that's for us here or
Yeah,
we generally, yeah, because I think it circles the room.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, I think we should.
it's loading.
Tina is,
Yay.
what does that say?
To see your faces again.
Yes. Oh, wait a minute, are you African Services Committee, right? I may not have that correct. Which
You-
group
Are you speaking to me? Is that Laquita?
Laquita, what? I'm
Miss-
trying to,
I'm from the Coda
Yeah.
Alliance.
which alliance?
Coda Alliance.
Yes, I thought you were calling like, so you're common thread.
Yes, I'm
Yes,
just
yes.
briefly, I want to introduce them and tell you a little bit
Okay.
about them.
Have you, oh, are you,
They're going six.
yeah, I have you already. I thought that's why I said we're common threads, but then it seems like I saw something else there, something touch.
Oh,
Oh.
because that's my personal business. I'm on my Zoom instead of Coda Alliance's Zoom.
On Zoom, is that part of this name? I'm not sure if she could be. Even it's up there. Yes.
I got it.
Yeah, and then who else is online?
Motion to call the meeting to order?
No, wait. I do this. It's 6:30, I'm intentionally waiting because I was hoping, Monique would get here, we would really have before. So, we're doing good though.
Yeah.
We generally do.
Hi, Dina.
Hi.
Bess and I are representing Common Threads Project, as you know. Can we show slides when it's our turn?
Yes, and,
We'll be able to share the screen.
let's start it now before, let's see, the participants.
Richard Collins.
Okay. It is 6:34 and I will now call the meeting to order. I have to do the count again to see how many members we have on the committee. I think there are 7. So with 4, that should be a quorum, as long as we have the 7. And then what we can do now, and I appreciate Jordan helping out. Let's make everyone who needs to be a co-host who has a presentation, we can do it now. And then that way, let's see. Yeah, we have the names.
Yeah, I want to go to type, so I can see.
Here, we have a forum for sure. Good to see you. I missed you a couple of days. I mean, I know you were on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't get
Yep,
excited.
I'm here. How's it going, everyone?
Hi, Cameron.
Okay.
Can everybody who needs to be, who will need to share their screen during the meeting, please, click the. You can honestly choose any reaction, but a hand raise would be excellent, just so I can see.
Mm,
Co-host.
Everyone's different.
And I got Ariella.
Yeah.
Okay, I got Rachel Cohen and Ariel Sella, Holbrook.
Yeah.
Anybody
August
else?
Is with,
Yeah, does anybody else need to share their screen?
when they present. Let me, okay, the meeting has been called to order. Let me, and before we adopt the agenda and have it approved, Araceli, which organization are you with again? Because I know you're part of this meeting.
Yes,
Public-
with the Harlem Health Initiative at CUNY SPH.
And did you want to make comments today, speak?
I just wanted to share a resource that we are.
Okay, that's okay. So you want to be added to the agenda, Harlem Health Initiatives.
Yes, please.
And what about 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see, we have common threads, was there anybody else? I have them on the agenda.
Yeah, I just got 2 hand raises from RSL and Rachel.
Okay, they're both with common threads.
No, RSL is the one who just added.
Okay.
Rachel's the one with Coda, that's something.
Okay. Well, neat to see, we might have, I think we have everyone except Cameron is on Zoom. Okay, this is fantastic. All right, let's see. Okay, so we have 2 added, that would be item, in item 6. And you would come after, common threads. Okay, so with those 2 additions, thank you again, Jordan. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Seconded by Lena, she's here in full force.
Yeah.
All those in favor, say aye.
Unanimous consent?
Unanimous consent. Now, to be very honest with you, it should have been March, minutes here because we did adopt, February before. And very quite honestly, I didn't have, with everything going on, I didn't have a chance to, complete the March minutes, even though I think I have them here, but I didn't go over them. So I'm asking, it to be tabled, and we do both, March and April together in May.
Motion to table the March minutes.
Second. And we do have recording on, right?
Yeah,
Is it on? I hope, I know thought I meant. I don't think so.
the recording's right here.
Is it on?
Yep. I can pause or stop it at any time, but it's on.
Oh, I see at the house. Yeah, great. Okay, now is Pauline on Pauline Ferrante there by any chance?
I don't see her.
I don't see Pauline's name either. Pauline is our representative, she's our liaison from the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. And she has been extremely helpful in reference to the Public Health Forum. And that we sent a letter to the commissioner, we'll talk about the Public Health Forum later, sent a letter to the commissioner. And she was able to walk through and get us an answer of yes, that we will attend pretty much right away. So she really worked it on our behalf. That was very quick. Although we miss her when she's not here for updates on policy, what's happening in terms of infectious diseases, et cetera, those things that affect the community. She comes, but we need to know about some things at least monthly, and sometimes we, are getting that information late. In that instance, I had asked Cameron if he would sort of fill in if he knows anything, since that's his area. I know he's been busy with his licensing, so he took that exam. I'm not sure if you've had a chance, Cameron, to do anything, related to follow up on that. If so, okay, but if not, we can hold it. We have it could be brought up Saturday, actually.
Yeah, no updates so far. I can,
Yeah, that's fine. You wanna stay on to provide us updates like on Arnold, because he presented at the executive committee, but we're one of the two committees sponsoring him, the Community Fellow Program that was I think Monique was involved with that, and youth, of course, and Victor. But can you kind of fill us in on him? That's exciting. But you know, you can tell us, remind us who he is, because some of us had not heard his name, and I actually don't have his last name here. And anything else
sure.
along those things that are listed on the agenda.
Yeah, so very briefly, so yeah, so for folks who aren't familiar, we had a fellowship sponsored by the Fund for the City of New York. This is a community planning fellow who's been helping us with some of like the analysis of the housing situation in our community. He presented last month to the executive committee, and then we sent out some of his preliminary reports to the executive board for feedback. And he's, got a lot of good feedback, and he's hard at work sort of distilling that feedback into a revised version that's going to be presented in front of the full community board at this upcoming meeting. So if, if folks have additional feedback, the form or I can send some of that over to this committee as well. He's currently working on it, so I can't I can't guarantee that I'll get to every item, but the form is open, and I can send that over to the health committee members specifically.
And what about New York State Health Act? Do you have any update on that?
The most recent update that I have is, so folks who aren't familiar, the New York Health Act is essentially a bill that would create a publicly funded single payer health system for New York State that would cover everyone with medical, dental, vision, prescriptions, essentially no costs at the point of service for any New Yorker. At less than what most of us are paying for our premiums for private insurance. And so that's been advancing. It's had majority support in both the state Senate and the state assembly for a few years now. And so what we're trying to get folks to do is actually put it to a vote and pass it on through. So, I think this was earlier. At the beginning of last month, we led a coalition of healthcare workers, medical students, and physicians up to Albany in support of the New York Health Act. Had as well as community members and allied health groups. Had a rally, had a few dozen meetings with elected officials. We're currently in the process of doing follow up. Right now, they're in the midst of sort of budget negotiations or budget stalemate, depending on your perspective. But once that is finalized, then we will be sort of pressing the issue on the New York Health Act and trying to ensure that it's on the agenda for what inevitably ends up being sort of like a mega bill that they end up passing after they finalize the budget.
And I have I did get some notice on New York Health Act, there's a mass grassroots organizing call scheduled for April 14 from 7:30 to 9 p.m. There's an RSVP. I'll send this out to everyone, but just in case there's someone online. Okay, let's see, if I send it, Heather, you have your system. If I send it to you, can you put this in the chat?
I just put the link in the chat for the registration for the mass organizing call.
Okay, so if any of you want and can be involved, there'll be probably a number of these call-ins, so if we can participate, that's great. But at least if you know about it, it's super. So just, pull it up for the chat, but those of you who are not on the chat, let me just say RSVP bit.ly / mass call, MASSCALL 14. But bless you. God bless you. For those of us here who are not looking at it, unless it could be shown. Okay, any questions based on what, for Cameron or any of us related to updates and announcements? Is there anything anyone wants to, speak on just as an announcement about something, particularly as it relates to public health? Not yet, okay, okay, we want to talk. Okay. Well, you guys wanted to be, yeah, it could be under announcements, go ahead. If you want to pass it.
This is a quick brief on our illicit center.
Say your names and who. Louis,
Yes,
you want to introduce yourself? Since
Oh, I'm
you've been
Louis
here
Carter.
before?
sorry, I'm Louis Carter, the outreach coordinator with Born, We Already Matter, domestic violence nonprofit organization based in Harlem. We service wherever the need may take us. And today Nana's gonna explain our holistic center, dealing with the health and the course that you guys have now.
Can I put you then, you should have been under, added to the agenda.
Okay.
So I know you were here first, so after comments or events, then you guys, Warm, We All Really Matter, and then Harlem Health Initiative.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it that way.
Okay,
All right, welcome.
thank you.
Okay, and then on that note, let's hear from Common Threads and who, the presenters will be Rachel Cohen and
Vesna. My name is Vesna Gorlic. Hello, good evening.
I
Oh.
just want to just say a little bit about them before we start.
Okay.
Uh, We are also thinking of partnering with this organization through CODA. I think what these two women are doing is phenomenal. I'm just going to read some information about them. Their headline reads From Victims to Survivors and to Agents of Change. So these phenomenal women believe that all survivors of sexual and gender-based violence are entitled to quality care. So the Common Threads project model is rooted in neuroscientific and socio-cultural understanding of trauma. The stitching piece speaks of these an ancient practice, and it's a diverse practice where women come together to sew their stories onto cloth. So I'm really interested in how this organization is working with women who have experienced sexual trauma and how they're healing through common threads. So didn't want to say too much. I just wanted to share that little bit about them, and they will share all of the information about the organization. And hopefully we will be partnering with them to do some things at the CODA Alliance in the future. And before I leave, I just want to say I will be attending the Columbia University event on Saturday. Look forward to seeing your faces again. It's been a while. I will have a table and I will be doing some wellness practices as usual. So yeah, it's good to be here again. It's been a while. So
thank you, Dina. Yes, I do remember you and you guys have participated. Someone from the Alliance has been active over the last couple of years. The event takes place, though, we want you to be at the right location, City College of New York, and the next.
okay.
It was last in 2024 that it was at Columbia's The Forum.
Yes, it was the forum. So we'll be at City College.
Yes, I'm gonna need to, I sent it to Hannah. I'll get it to you and, it really needs to be distributed because, we have information that your participants should hear. Dealing with, we have, for example, sexual health, women and, we'll talk about it, women and maternal risk, et cetera, all kinds of topics. Thank you, and so now we'll hear from, do you want to continue to moderate this part?
Miss Rachel Cohen and Miss
And Vesna, yes. Dina, thank you so much to you and to colleagues of Quota Alliance, and thank you to you all really for giving us this opportunity to tell about Common Threads project and to bring what we do to women and people in Harlem. So Common Threads Project is an organization that provides healing services to survivors of sexual and gender-based violence and trauma, often war, displacement, but to all who have experienced the traumatic experiences. Common Threads Project and Quota Alliance would like to bring together this service to the people who live in the proximity, and that's why we are here tonight. We would like to partner and invite the services to help us build that access to what we do, so that people can enjoy the healing and recovery from their traumatic experiences in healing circles that Common Threads Project organizes. So Rachel will tell you a little bit more about how exactly that works. But what I would like to say here is that we cannot do it alone. We need to partner with organizations like yours and with the community boards to be able to open the doors for the people so that they can come to the service and find the healing that they need. So I'll ask Rachel just to give you a bit more information about our organization and the way that the trauma healing works. We started the organization globally, and we have programs globally, as you can see on this map, since 2012, and in 2021 we brought it to New York, working in partnership with organizations such as Sanctuary for Families, in Elmhurst Hospital, for example, Libertas Center for Human Rights, and other partners. And now we are hoping that a collaboration with Quota Alliance will expand the access to this service. So Rachel, maybe you can just tell the people about the therapy itself and the training that we do and how that reaches the people.
I'd be happy to. Thank you, Vesna. And thank you so much for having us this evening to this meeting. We are, as you can see, both a global and a local organization. We train therapists in this methodology, and they adapted for culture and community and deliver this intervention. And we hope that you will join us to hear more about it. We're just going to give you a little bitty taste at this meeting. And Quota Alliance is sponsoring an evening on May 19th from 6:30 to 8:30, where people in the community can learn about this in more detail, because it would take a little bit of time, not only learn about it, but also experience parts of the work that we do, which is arts-based and textile-based, as well as rooted in current best practices in trauma therapy. So what's a story cloth? And why do we use story cloths? Here you can see one that was made in Ecuador several years back. And you can see here is embroidered into the cloth something that this participant in our healing circle wanted to say and was responding to. This is difficult to put in words, yes? And this is why we do story cloths. It's an ancient practice across many, many different cultures where women who are facing very severe adversity can come together and depict what can't be put into words, that which is literally unspeakable, both because of the stigma that may be attached, as well as the way that trauma works in the body, that in the nervous system, that may prevent people from actually being able to speak about what's happened to them, and yet they need to in order to heal fully and really transform their lives. And so they stitch. It takes a long time, but they actually stitch into cloth, and they need not have any experience with sewing, with art, with anything. This all is taught and shared during the sessions, and it's done in a group, which is key. Collective trauma needs to be healed collectively, we believe. So this is one example of many hundreds of story cloths. We've reached more than, well, actually thousands of story cloths. We've reached more than 1,000, well over 1,000 survivors in all different parts of the world. And it's coming to your neighborhood very soon, thanks to Kota Alliance and the work that we're doing with them. Here are some of the outcomes that we are seeing both in research and in what participants have to say. There are significant reductions of mental health symptoms, many improvements in well-being, a lowering of stigma and shame, self-blame and guilt, which are key factors in this experience. And they form communities. The survivors find each other and understand that they are not alone at all. And they experience improvements in their sense of self, in their coping abilities, in their sense of purpose, and agency and voice. And as you heard Dina say, that we are in awe of the movement of survivors, well, from victims to survivors to agents of change and becoming empowered. Finally, these are some comments that members of our circles have shared with us. The program was for me an adventure of hope, trust, knowledge, and confidence. From generation to generation, let me be the last to suffer in silence of the abuse by men who see me and the women in my family as objects for them to possess. So one of the things that we aim for is stopping the cycle of violence and reducing the incidence of intergenerational transmission of this kind of trauma. Through creating story cloths, I found a way to express my feelings and my experiences. It has given me confidence and hope for the future. I feel connected to my community and know that my voice matters. This is real healing that we are after. This last comment comes from our project in Nigeria. Just as a sturdy tree that survives storm after storm will not only survive, we will not only survive, but we will thrive. We shall continue to stand tall and strong. So if this seems like it might be of interest to you, for folks that you know in the community, we are going to be very eager for people to make referrals to this healing circle and future ones that happen. So everyone who's engaged in the health of the community, we will be counting on you to refer clients to this so that they can have the opportunity to achieve real healing, which is a rare thing, unfortunately. And we want to ensure that the West Harlem community has access to this intervention. So I am going to Vesna, thank you.
I have added it to the chat, the link to our invitation.
I'm also going to put in, I'll put in the info address, which if
Do you
you,
want to address or Common Threads project website or?
I'm putting in info@commonthreadsproject.org. So if people would like to contact us directly for further information about the project at Kota Alliance, or you can, the first, what Vesna put in is actually you can register using that link. Please register for the May 19th event so you can come and learn more about it. And if you want to contact us directly, there's that email address that follows.
Dina, Rachel, and I apologize, I didn't.
Vesna.
Vesna.
Colich.
It was a terrific, heartwarming presentation. It reminds me of what I know Black women in the South were doing for ages, the quilting. And for different reasons, they did it for entertainment, coming together for joy, but it serves a number of purposes, I'm sure, just for some kind of calming and healing, as you mentioned, just being in communication, community, being in loving, I guess, in community ship, if there is such a word, with others, can help just ease whatever pain. You know, you're using your hands and there's a momentary distraction. That's a good distraction. I talked to Yana, and we have tables for at our public health forum. I think that would be an opportunity this Saturday for someone to be present and for all of your participants to come, because it's going to be all kinds of healing that will be discussed at that event, whether you're dealing with mental stress, learning about our bodies for men and women, about topics and how public policy can assist in public health equity as well. I think that's going to be important, and I'm not sure if you guys are, I'm not sure if you're grantees yet, but we've also, or will be talking to our grantees about bringing a group of people there servicing the District 9, this part of the West Side community. They really should be at the public health forum. And, that extends that, request, that you are there, you see what we're doing, and it benefits you. So think about that, and we'll keep in mind what we talked about, and, you're welcome to come back again as well. But I think there'll be a lot of other community partners represented. If you have a table, then, you don't have to have a lot of material, but if you're there to talk to other people who may know women, some people may not want to speak about it, but if they stop to listen, there's a purpose, and it gives you an opportunity to explore.
Fantastic.
I have a question. I'm sorry, two things. What time is it on May 19th? And what happens when you're done with the quilts? I'm just curious.
I'll take the time question. Vesna, you can take the second question.
I didn't hear the second question. So
what happens to the story cloths after?
okay.
So the time is 6:30 to 8:30 on May 19th at Kota Alliance.
And story cloths are personal belonging of the person who makes a story cloth. It's a process through which the healing occurs. Sometimes people tell us, bring this to the community. We want the people to know what happened. We want support. And then as a community, we bear witness and organize exhibitions of story cloths. And in other occasions, it stays with mostly people want to share what happened and what is in their story, and they're very proud of it. And we have some examples on our website. There's a whole exhibition of story cloths there. You can see them.
Thank you. Any other questions? Excellent. Thank you so very much. And Dina, I hope we could talk before, maybe tomorrow or so, but anyway, we'll talk, and I definitely look forward to as many of your, colleagues as possible coming on Saturday.
Well, I'm going to email you later this evening so that we can communicate and
That's great. Please
have a
do.
chat.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And then, let's see, we have Dr. Gomez here, our friend. She's co-convening with the Manhattan Community Board Public Health Fair, Public Health Forum.
Hi,
Um,
everyone.
how much time do you have? Because I'd like for you to hear the other two presenters, and we talk about the health forum together.
I'm
How
sorry.
much-
Are you asking me? I have to go in about 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Okay, so can you talk then about what we've been able to do so far? And then, of course, later I'll talk about the forum and the committee's requested participation.
Yeah,
And
of
I
course.
wanted to say thanks again to Dr. Gomez. She approached us, as I mentioned, a couple of months ago to join in to partner in providing information, public health information, particularly information in the mental health arena. And of course, that has grown to encompass even what Monique covers with the essence of or what happens, the effects of cannabis. So it's grown, but this program, the successful City College of New York, which means also the CUNY School of Medicine, are integral parts of our district, our community, even though they have facilities all across the city, of course, but we're so grateful that this is another one of our two major institutions in our district that we have a direct relationship with. So, Judy, would you give us some words
Of course, of course.
about Public Health Forum?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me, Laquita. Hi, Miss Dina Lynn. I know Miss Dina Lynn from another collaborative.
Hi, my
Um,
dear. So great to meet you
It's
here.
so good to see. I'm like, it's such a small world. Of course, Miss Dina Lynn is here. Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to be here, and I'm super excited to be joining forces with Community Board 9. I'll be very brief. My name is Judy. I work with the community center. Some of you have heard my name or seen me, or you've been here in one of these meetings where we bring in some of our researchers. The community center is a collaborative across 5 institutions, including now the CUNY School of Medicine, Columbia, Will Cornell, Pagney, I'm missing one, and Hunter College. We particularly focus on research and developing interventions and community engagement, community engaged participatory activities and research that focuses on the reduction of cardiovascular disease and cancer risk. And we have been partnering now working with Community Board 9 since 2024. I was invited to their last forum, and we had some money in our budget to sponsor a program. And I reached out to Miss Laquita and I was like, hey, Laquita, are you putting together the forum again? And we started, planning from there. We're in our last week of planning. The forum is going to happen on Saturday at the City College campus on 138th and between Amsterdam and Convent, but you can come in through either side. I'm sure Laquita will send out some more of the marketing materials, but we're super excited to have a number of experts and community experts, from community experts to academic experts, talking about public health in general. And the Tau Charitable Trust, the Tau Omega Charitable Trust I've been co-planning with them the youth mental health component. They have some workshops with youth called Let's Talk About It, which pretty much, it's an open forum for youth to come in and talk about what's on their minds, the pressures that they experience, how they navigate them. And then after that, we'll be having a mental health bias in mental health panel. And then we have, should I mention who were our special guests, Laquita, or is that a surprise for folks?
Girl, you can.
I can?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we have Dr. Alistair Martin, the new Commissioner of Health, joining the Public Health Forum, and Dr. Cohn, who's the principal investigator for the Community Engagement Corps, which is the core that I direct under the Community Center. We do all things community engagement. She will be joining Dr. Edwin Torres in a conversation with Dr. Alistair Martin, specifically talking about tracking. The name of the theme of the conference is tracking 250 years since the Declaration of Independence, tracking the path to public health equity. So they'll be talking all things equity, specifically policy, and why policy and civic engagement is important for health equity, both at the larger scale, societally, or community, at the community level, but also at the individual level. So I'm super excited. Anything else, Laquita, that you wanted me to share?
I think that's a good nutshell of a presentation. You said a lot, and
I did
we
say a
are
lot.
excited. There's been a terrific group of planning partners from the community. And that's a big feature in terms of our public health, to bring as many experts or people practicing in medicine, all, for long periods of time in the community. So we want to highlight them. People don't necessarily have to go outside of the community for their healthcare needs
Exactly.
for everything, but we have institutions that are involved in training, excellent training, as a matter of fact, with Columbia and CUNY School of Medicine.
And the
And
Community School of
have
Medicine.
as
And I also
well.
wanted to highlight, Laquita, if I may, we are also really excited to be highlighting our community and centering our community members' expertise, right? Because still to this day, when we hear the word expertise, we think, oh, academicians, we don't necessarily think community members. So that's the part that I'm most excited about.
Exactly, and I mentioned that at our general board. It's about hearing from our community clinicians, medical leaders, those who have worked hard and are passionate about their field of work and are doing terrific things. So I'm very excited about the forum. It's a lot of work. In some ways, maybe a week and a half behind on some things, but it's come together. And we want you to tell your colleagues, get young people out, get people in the district in particular, reach out to organizations and other associations. And let them know that we're here.
Yep.
I think you covered it very well, Dr.
Okay.
Gomez.
Thank you. Thank you all. Have a good night.
You're stopping in again. This is our third meeting today. So,
Yep, it is. It sure is.
so thank you again.
All right. You're very
Thank
welcome.
you,
Bye,
Yuri.
everyone.
See you
Bye,
soon.
Dina. See you later.
Okay, and so now we'll discuss a bit more about the public health forum a little later. We have to. But then if now we bring on Harlem Health Initiatives with our friend Ari, who's also been attending the public health forum meetings with us as well. Okay, Ari, I should say. Okay.
Okay.
You have access if you need it, as a co-host, I believe, not for Jordan, if she'd asked, yes. So, and no more than 8 minutes.
Oh, I can do it in less.
Okay, that'd be great, because there's usually always some question and answer. And you may not know it, but we need you to speak as loudly as you can be comfortable, because we have the competing with the train, the subway above ground system here. Okay.
Okay, cool. Well, let me know if at any point you can't hear me. But hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Ariel Sella Holbrook Smith. I am coming to you from the Harlem Health Initiative at the CUNY School of Public Health and Health Policy. We are located off of 125th. We take pride in really being a part of the fabric of the community, or at least striving to, instead of just an institution that is placed within the community. We're the only public school, public health in New York City. I'm joined today by my colleague, Rebecca Weiner, who is our digital content manager. I myself am the Health Equity and Literacy Program Officer. And so I basically focus on supporting our community-based partners, including Manhattan Community Board CB9. So thank you so much for having us today. We just wanted to share a resource that we're working on in collaboration with the Lupus Foundation of America, which is really working to share awareness around lupus symptoms, especially hoping to reach our young people, especially our young women of color between the ages of 18 to 24. And so what we are working on right now is a digital media campaign, and we are really asking folks to help us amplify the message around raising awareness around lupus in our communities. Not so that people are diagnosing themselves from an Instagram post, but just so that people are mindful about their bodies and things that they might be experiencing, and ways to reach out to their healthcare providers or conversations to have. So what we have here is a resource guide for folks to be able to share that information out. And so that includes information about the campaign itself, what is lupus, looking at lupus in Manhattan, and then also talking about Lupus Awareness Month, which is coming up in May. So that is the critical time that we're hoping to really amplify the messaging. And we also have here some resources that you all can use to share that information. So an outreach email template, as well as links to digital assets that you can share. So for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., sharing out to your communities and folks that you know, folks that you work with. And so just giving you all the materials. We can share the link to all of this information to the resource guide so that it is easier for folks to be able to share things out that way. Rebecca, is there anything that I missed? Anything you want to add?
Let me ask, is there, oh, I'm sorry, there was a pause.
Go ahead, that's fine.
I was just gonna ask if there's research, any kind of clinical research or trials or other going on now with lupus?
There are actually some clinical research trials that are going on around lupus. We actually have a couple of our students are working on a resource guide around that, including talking about clinical trials and the importance for marginalized communities and for our communities to participate in things like that, because we tend to be underrepresented in those areas.
Yeah, cause I heard of lupus, but I never associated it with people of color. And I mean, that was how many years ago? Maybe 10 years ago. Then I have a friend whose sister had lupus. He just casually told me that it was more than casual when I heard how she was feeling, what was happening to her, and how a number of times she had to be hospitalized. But I had just never, that's naivete on my part, or maybe there wasn't at that time a lot of information about it. Maybe it's a little bit more than 10 years, 15 perhaps. So I'm glad to hear that. And that's why our committee has looked at, well, we did do that with the Public Health Forum, kind of focus on clinical research and trying to find ways to encourage particularly Black people and Hispanics to become more involved in research, but also letting them know what to look for, because some research may not be appropriate for them. So, it's really important. So I'm glad to hear what you just mentioned,
Yes, yes. That's another thing that we are also doing, is having folks who are sharing their stories and experiences also be part of our approach to the media campaign. So that is also something that we're looking forward to sharing too. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, I just saw the train go by. But we are having folks who also have lived experience share their stories. And so that's also something that we're hoping to put out in the coming weeks as well.
Okay. Any other questions from this group? Oh, it's big. It really is.
It starts in May. How long is it going to run, Aracelia?
How long is the campaign going to run?
Yes.
So we have already started posting a little bit, but we are planning to continue through May. Another thing that we're looking at is trying to share to the Link NYC screens. We're still looking into that. If you have any advice on that, happy to hear thoughts. Anything you want to add, Rebecca?
No, that was very comprehensive. Just to amplify your messaging, we would really appreciate partnership and spreading the word about our campaign to the community, just to ensure that young women are able to have these resources to help them navigate their care. And additional resource is the BeFierceTakeControl.com website, which is the Lupus Foundation of America's website. And this provides a lupus questionnaire, symptom tracker, and additionally a support guide to help young women feel prepared and navigate their visits with healthcare providers.
We, a couple of things I'm thinking of. We, can help spread the word, among the members of the committee, very specifically, just getting it out to people we know, our own, email list or among our friends. And then there could be, an e-blast from our district office, sharing the information, and that the campaign is underway. And also there is the Link NYC, and our public health forum is, as I understand it, has starting today, announcements that will take place at various, shelters. Not, some may be the huge, bulletin kind of, bus stop shelters, but most of them will be at the, like where telephone booths were, the community space that they've allotted. I'm not sure how helpful I could be, but there was someone who did our campaign back in 2024, a wonderful ad campaign. And she may be willing to work with you on that. And I'll give you her name. It was wonderful. We had about 10, definitely 10 advertisements that were shown all across the community in different ways that our community partners provide a service. It promoted the community board, yes, but primarily the 10 ads allowed us to promote our community partners. Many of them were involved with the 2024 Public Health Forum and are coming back this time. So I think that, again, Link NYC, look into it. Everything is, computer, just online. They want you to text everything to them. It's hard to find a person to talk to if you run into a little sticky area. So, but maybe if you do get someone, you'll be able to get their phone number before you're off the phone with them. But research it, and then, I'll give you the information that our district manager gave us. But I'd also like to have you talk to Anita Chang, who went all out. She really promoted Link NYC heavily for the community board, and we've taken advantage of it and appreciate her very much for that. So, I'm not sure her, what her, their fee or what her fee, that kind of thing we have to discuss with her.
That would be great. Thank you if you could send that over. And
You
we'll also
make sure
share
to
this
call
toolkit.
me, or send me a text or email with your number, and then as I'm completing, because I know that you were at the meeting today, Ariel, and so I'm not sure if there's some more information you're supposed to give me, but as long as the phone number's there, we could touch base on your campaign as well.
Okay, sure. We can do that.
And then also, if you come to our general board meeting, April, let's see, Cameron just made mention of it. It's not this, let's see, today's the 8th at 7, that's the 16th. Is it 15th or 16th?
I think it's Thursday.
Thursday, April 16th.
We'll be there.
They'll be close to anywhere from 40 to 50 board members, and then there's an audience. People from all areas of the district, and that would be a great place to promote this as well.
Yes, we will definitely be there.
Then too. that you come to our committee. And the same with common threads. I think it'd be great. Dina, I'm not sure if she's still on, but if you both come, if I know you coming, maybe I wouldn't mind doing an introduction where you can each, I think it's 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes. And you speak on your projects, because they're very important. And then the same with we are with Warm, who haven't spoken yet, but I know that you do something very engaging as well. And
I put it on my calendar.
Okay. Don't forget to
Thank
call.
you.
Thank you. Any other questions before we go to the next? Okay, so the next on our list, I know Louis is here and his colleague Nada, from We All Really Matter. And so they are warm. And so, and they're in person. So please, Lucia, if you want to introduce Nada, because I know you've been here before and everyone was impressed with your presentation. And now you're,
Well,
showing him the ropes.
hello all, my name is Louis Carter. I'm the outreach coordinator with Warm, We Already Matter. It's a domestic violence nonprofit based in Harlem, where we service wherever the need may take us. Nana's here, he's gonna do a little presentation, give you a gist of the services that we provide. And this, now mind you, this is just the tip of the iceberg of the services. Our goal is to get an individual out of that situation into a good life. And whatever that may mean, dog care, pampers, food, clothing, transportation, shipping, storage, food, the list goes on, in the medical, documentations, health, court advocacy. I mean, the list is enormous. So now let me hand it over to Nana, and he's gonna give you a little bit more about what we do.
Good evening, guys. I'll be short. Yes, like what my partner Louis said, there's wherever the need take us. We're a domestic violence organization. We support women and men dealing with domestic violence. We've seen a lot throughout many years that I've worked at Warm. It's never a good topic whenever I have to speak on it, because it still happen. But based on stats, 1 to 3 women face domestic violence and 1 to 10 for men. So, if you see 5 women in that room, best believe it's 1 person going through domestic violence. And domestic violence don't only have to be physical. It's mental, financial, spiritually, if you may add that as well. It's to hold someone captive, a person not being able to defend themselves from the abuser. And that's really what we do. And we have a support group program. Today's program is no is a complete sentence, meaning that no is no. Like you don't have to say no, explain yourself, or like have a thought of you're playing around when you say no. Once you hear no, that's a complete sentence. And that's what our support group is. Today, one of our facilitators is educating many clients or participants who want to show up on why no is a complete sentence. But what I wanted to speak on today is our holistics. We have 8 different programs, and they're all free. We have yoga, EMDR, meditation, massage, acupuncture, craniosacral, somatic experiencing, internal family system, and the list really goes on. And these are real licensed professionals. And yes, they are free.
Free?
Yes, free. All you have to do is just call and sign up.
Massage free?
Free. Free of charge. Yes. Okay. All you have to do is just call. That's what, yeah, and just participate and show up. Yeah.
Free?
This is a real partnership.
Yeah, but we are open to collabing, because I'm hearing a lot of good communities being stated, which I didn't know myself, which is why I like coming to these meetings to expand on our horizon and make partnerships. But we do hope to partner up with you guys, and our email. Can we write?
Sure. Can we go into the group chat?
Yeah, here.
Jordan, our local techie.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
type it in.
Okay, it's my techie. Nana, she said.
You can take a picture of it
Right, I was just gonna give this card and, if you guys wanna.
Oh, yeah, I can take, I can take.
Yeah, but for people on the chat, it's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
time.
thank you, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you have the address, everything.
And yeah, it does sound like, I don't, Dina through, through Dina, even common threads, there might be some ways to partner, where it benefits both associations.
Just the wages become like, do like the
Absolutely.
work.
Yeah,
Right,
right,
yeah, I
show
wanted
invest,
to piggyback on what they said, this with trauma, and that holistic center is to release the trauma, like what I see you always said, the issues is in the tissues. That's per se.
I love
Right,
it.
yeah, so, the holistic center is to release yourself from whatever trauma you're blocked in there, because, the mind is the body itself want to protect you, so it blocks out what you experienced 10 years ago, 20 or 30, even 50, just to protect yourself, but whenever something is trapped, there's always way where it will leak, and by leak, I'm talking about you on random outbursts. Then 5 minutes later, you question yourself, why did I do this? Not really understanding yourself that it's the trauma from the past. So this yoga holistic center or wellness center that we have is to release that trauma. It's for you to experience everything at once and just release it and look at it and say, I'm new. I'm not going back to my old self. And that's why the holistic center was created.
It's interesting, when you guys came, last year, when you came with, Christina. And what was so interesting is that every time someone has come, this is the first time that a number of us have heard men talk about domestic abuse and domestic abuse, men toward women, but also, tell us something again about the number of men, that you're able to assist or that you encountered for the
Yes.
program. Cause that was very unusual for me. I mean, I can see it happening in prisons, but apparently, you're saying that it's happening day to day. Something not to the same extent that it does with women, but significant nonetheless.
Yeah, men do experience domestic violence as well. Like you have a support group for men, and you'll be shocked by the people that come in there. It's real muscular people, like where like when we talk about this, they start to cry and tear up, and that's our best, like we have the space in the sanctuary space where you're open. There's no judgment, just let everything, and then they come and they talk about how like their childhood was, what they seen their father do to their mother, and why they act like that as well. They take accountability for their actions as well, which is also what we do, which is good on their part. Yeah, but we experience a lot of things when it comes to men. We do help support them in terms of housewarming gear, when they get a new house or when they need to travel or anything with goods, when they need food, child support in terms of daily activities, creating poster boards, like visionary plans and everything like that as well. So that's what we do to cater to men as well.
And also, when it comes to men, even though the women is the vast majority of our clients are female, and silence high violence. When it comes to the men, the stigma on that is super duper high. Because we raised in a society, men don't cry, but I have men that are being. I have my first male client. He was 6'3", did 20 years in prison. He could bench a building, and his abuser was like 4'11", and her abuse with him was super crazy because she would hit him with irons and pots and bats. And I literally had to tell my CEO because he went to the precinct. He came to us. I said, you need to order protection. When he went to the precinct, the cops laughed at him. Literally like, yo, you bugging out. Like, and it crushed him. And he came back and he was ready to just snap. And I told my CEO, we went to the precinct and she had got the commanding officer on him, said, how dare you? He came to you for help. Because if he would have hit her, he would have killed her. He was huge.
That's
But they wouldn't have laughed about that.
That's right.
So when it comes to the men, it is like it's like a stigma on it that's like hard to get through. You know, we fight like Nana was saying, we have a men's group and they take accountability, but it's still it's a rough ride, you know. But we doing our part, you know, and that's what we can do. That's all we can do as a community. Everybody do their part, and then hopefully at the end, you know, it'll be all kumbaya. But until then, we're gonna fight the fight. Yeah. So that's it.
Very
good.
One, I'm glad you just happened to walk in, you got your jackets now, then a year or so ago, you didn't have those. You
We
came
was
in.
roughing it.
So, yeah, it's so good to see you
Thank you
and
for the
hear
invite and
the
hopefully we come
update.
back.
And like you said, hearing.
Right, yeah.
Hold on lines.
Yeah.
Right, Rhoda. Codes is an alliance of about, how many organizations? Do you know Vesna, Rachel, Dina?
We are currently working with a few different organizations, not many, but we are open to meeting up with anyone who's interested in sharing space or having a forum, getting the word out about the work that we all do in the community. As a matter of fact, I met Miss Stephanie, the CEO of one, before she had a wellness center, and I spoke extensively with her about the work that I was doing, because at the time I was with another organization as a director of healing and wellness. So I'm so happy that you all have instituted a wellness aspect right on site for people to participate in and to receive. It's, for me, it's all encompassing. We can't just treat one part of the body that's been traumatized. You have to treat all the aspects of a human being. And that includes the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual. So part of my work in trauma informed wellness is about doing the work spiritually as well as emotionally and mentally. So yeah, I look forward to speaking with you all to see how we might build some partnership between the two organizations. And so I'll be in touch for sure.
Amazing.
Okay. Thank you, Gina. Any
Questions?
other questions for Warm, Lewis and Nana? I don't know, I don't see here. Okay, but the information was put in the chat by Jordan, and you all have other information that others have shared. So I appreciate everyone who has presented. Thank you again. There were wonderful presentations. It allows us to know more about the community. There's something that will love to hear there. So at any rate, thank you very much. I was trying to see Kimberly. Oh, she was what shared. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see Kimberly there. There's several Kimberlys, Kimberly's with CMS Health. Hi, Kimberly, did you have your hand up, or I just saw something and go
Oh
over
no, I was
here?
just scratching my scalp. Hi everyone. Good evening. Happy to meet you all. I'll just say a quick blurb. I am Kimberly and I am a health insurance specialist from CMS, that'd be Medicare. So I wanted to connect and say, like, if you guys have any events or want us to help out any elderly groups that you guys engage with, we're here to help with like providing Medicare resources like how to set up your account, or when we have open enrollment in the fall, please feel free to let me know, and I or anyone on my team could table or do presentations for you. And yeah, that's my quick spiel. Thank you.
If you want to participate on Saturday, there might be some space at our public health forum. Also, if you can put together, I know you can, but put maybe a presentation together where we do hear on the older side, among, a huge number of people who fit, and should be getting ready for whatever it's Medicare, Medicaid, whatever can help older persons in planning financially for their health needs.
Mhm.
I invite you to let us know or recommend from your group someone who can come. And so just stay in touch, Kimberly.
Okay, will do.
Um,
Thank you.
All right. You disappeared really fast there.
Oh, sorry. It's
And
government
also
Zoom.
on our screen, you moved to the other side. You didn't do that. It's just the way, I guess this formulation is for cross, whatever. But anyway, you were on the left side of the screen and now you're on the right side. Okay, thank you all again. The last, well, let me just mention to everyone here that we got the expense budget, answer to our expense budget priorities and requests. And they really granted many of our requests, whether it's part of the capital budget or the expense budget. And the health care area, as well as dealing with the homeless. Again, most was covered, but there was some feedback that I don't know if it got captured in the final report. Do you know, Monique? I'm not sure. So I feel that's, even if I'm late, I'm able to get in information. But I was so pressed this month, and we had the meeting last week. Yeah. Maybe Ashley will know, but you will be the main person since she's remote today. So maybe we can find out tomorrow if there's room, but there were only one or two things that, for example, the Emma Bowen, that was approved and that was completed. The interesting thing in terms of 1727 Amsterdam, which we often call the health building for heritage. That the comment I thought was different. It was far better than the way it had been worded at another point where, let me see if I can find it. And I made that comment last week, unless I'm mistaken. To me, it was more positive in that the agency they could not support, or they could not accommodate, but they were they felt it was worth supporting. Now that's interesting. 1727 is still being, still in the city planning, commission hopper, I believe, unless someone knows something different. So we don't know yet, how it's gonna totally fit down. We know there'll be a new structure, which we support. A new structure, but it's the question of the housing. And how that housing, should be divvied up in terms of who needs it. Here it is with our 1649, we wanted Heritage to have some funding for their forced move. And again, we know the building needs to be just torn down and rebuilt. One agency, we're very pleased, we'll be going back and they have a wonderful new location. But here's another major institution, for whatever reason, is not allowed to come back because of everything that happened beforehand. And whatever group is monitoring it, but they stated they were under New York City Health and Hospitals. New York Health and Hospitals is committed to ensuring continuity of critical healthcare services in the district. We will continue to seek opportunities to best support Heritage with their move to 1649 Amsterdam, working in concert with the mayoral administration. That is very different wording, but of course we have a new mayor now, and he's very interested in housing. The new people who have been involved with we, well, who are contracted to develop the building, wants to do a certain percentage supportive housing, very small percentage, affordable housing. And that's the issue. We feel we need more affordable housing because we have some, when I say we, the community board, over the years, it's a we, even if you were not on the board at that time, but we have supported every single, with the exception of maybe one that I can recall. Every single supportive housing project that's come up here. And there may be one that I recall where it wasn't, because I worked for a supportive housing organization as well as supported them. And many of the owners are kind of like institutional in that they've been here, they had been in the community for years, so you try to support your institutions. But there comes a time when the community sees that it needs some other things. It's housing, yes, but it's affordable housing. And what is affordable? Affordable and supportive. Yeah, well, they wouldn't mind supportive, but they wanted the ratio to be different. It seems like there are far more studio apartments for, if there are families that need housing. Isaac Edelstein comes in with his Broadway housing project. They, there are people who are living in cars, families living in cars. In every
Sorry,
house.
Laquita.
Who was that? Oh, Cameron.
Oh, yeah, I was just checking to make sure we don't have anyone else on the agenda.
He's checking to see if there, I think anyone else, what's the percent, Cameron? Oh.
Yeah, that's right. I just wanted to make sure that we're not.
So, we've been very supportive, so we wanted our legislators and all involved to listen to us, because the people who have been, speaking in favor of more of affordability than the supportive are people who've lived in this community for years and kept it really going, alive and vibrant, even during the devastation with drugs and rundown, that where landlords deserted the development and had to really be involved with bringing the facility, the housing back, and bringing it at least up to where it is right now. So they really should be, because their interests should be considered and of concern. And it seems like that's where there's a lot of where it hasn't come together. With the city planning commission, maybe there've been hearings and maybe they are, paying attention, we'll see. So that's where there was but the tone here is a lot better than what it was before, but I'm not sure what that means, but let's just see what happens. With the mayor's input. And as I look through this, again, they funded most of our programs. Again, I just need to know if there is need, or even if we have time. I think that any modifications or just comments we want to make have probably passed, but I think for the most part, even if it went as appeared, we're okay, and we'll have another opportunity. So we should ask, I guess, check on with you to make sure. I mean, the state is late. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was due at the time they had the hearing. I think it was due, and I knew I couldn't get. It was just too much going on. You didn't respond. Well, but she did take notes. She did. And so they were going to work on it. There's the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. This request is completed, providing funds to increase the reach of infant mortality reduction initiatives. That's an excellent one, and we had a resolution out on that. A lot of that money is coming from the state, and Governor Hochul provided that. I believe that was about a year ago, and it's going to be continuing for a while. So some of that may be funds coming down from the state. But it's a good program. Let's see, the other address public health issues requests. With repeatedly state, community air survey keeps coming up. Infectious diseases. I don't see, what we did see was the mention of Legionella. Cause I think at the time, no, we had it in our proposal, like yeah, you and I in Genero, I sat and did that when I know we put in the whole thing with Legionella.
But speaking of that, I was gonna ask, cause since it's on the agenda and Victor doesn't look like he's on. Cameron, were there any updates regarding that?
Victor did have an update on Legionella, but, Kim is gonna have a table, by the way, Kim Smith at the Public Health Forum. Victor sent something, let me see, let me put his name in here, see what. He did provide an update, I think, just a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Let me just quickly see. What's coming on, that,
I mean, I know there's a couple of updates. I know that the 3303 or 3330 is in the process of remediating. It sounds like it's going to take a couple of weeks for them to finish remediating some of the actual water heater units that were impacted. I know that they're and I think Jordan Wright presented about this at the last general body meeting about one of the Legionnaire's disease bills advancing out of committee into the floor. It doesn't look like it's gone to it hasn't been voted on the floor thus far. And the only other thing that I'm aware of, which is, I think pretty relevant, is there was a recent article that came out in the Gothamist that was talking about sort of last summer's outbreak. I'll put it in the chat, and it was essentially discussing how like Harlem Hospital was, I think as most of the folks in the community suspected, was not following its own protocols when it came to testing and remediation for Legionnaires, Legionella in its own cooling towers. So I think those are at least the things that I'm aware of. I'm sure there's other stuff going on.
Okay. Hit on that. Here's what Victor said, April 1 from the team at 3333 Broadway that we know you haven't heard from us in a little bit, so we just wanted to send you a quick update on the Legionella remediation ongoing in the Tower A and B hot water system. So far, the remediation is going as planned. We just submitted to DOHMH our latest periodic measurement of copper and silver ions circulating in the system as required by the department. Everything is functioning normally and the CSI levels are optimal for combating Legionella and in full compliance with city and EPA requirements. So that comes from the team I don't know who's considered the team. But they sent it out in English and in Spanish. From James S. Eisenberg, Joshua S. Eisenberg, maybe they're the team. He said we would like to give a big shout out to all residents in Tower A and B who have been doing an excellent job flushing their taps daily to ensure that CSI continues to reach all aspects of the hot water system and do the most good. We are nearing the end of the moderate flushing protocol phase of the process. On April 8th, our water treatment engineers will be conducting another 3-day intensive flushing protocol as per the approved acute remediation and treatment plan. And on April 20th, our environmental engineers take new water samples to be tested for any existence of any Legionella in the system. Another round of sampling is scheduled. I'll forward this, but it seems it's a short, he's, email, he's to the point.
Yeah.
Everything that was critical. And so, they really got on it. That's, an example of how things can work. That might be something, I'll send it to you. I know you got this camera, but in the wrap up on Saturday, that might be, in the 5 minutes you have, like divided into 3 segments, the Health Act, the Community Fellow, and the latest, our action on Legionella as a community board. So anyway, that's good news for the most part. Hopefully, I know that they're interested in towers C and D being tested, even though nothing came up. That wasn't mentioned, that raised kind of a big stink. I don't know how relevant it truly is based on what their preliminary research shows, but seems like they're doing doing the right stuff. If you get a chance to talk to the commissioner, it comes up, you might want to at least commit, not so much to say, but just recognize that building and maybe as exemplary of how some of the buildings should be responding to this whole Legionella issue. Okay, so now, we're doing, very well with those on the, line. I'd like to just, spend some time with the, what Dr. Gomez may not have covered with the Public Health Forum. And, let me just, where's my, this won't be super long, but, we need all committee hands on deck Saturday, to be facilitators in each of the panel groups. And it primarily will be, as last time, maybe fielding questions. If there are cards at the outset, you see, that whoever needs a card for a question, that they get it. And hopefully, be able to look at them and see which questions are similar so that, if there's time where it's only a couple people with hands up, maybe they can speak the question themselves, but make sure that they're brief and not give too much of a preamble before getting to the actual question. That's the real task there. But the speaker, that each segment will have like 45 minutes. Where they'll come with their flash drive and AV is all set up and they just stick that in. Deborah Levine is going to give the historic perspective because, as you know, we're looking at 250 years of the Declaration of Independence, tracking a path to public health equity. So what has happened? She'll give historically what has happened, things that were very concerning, even though progress was made. And the doctor coming up will be talk about what's going on currently. One, of course, we talked about healing and the use of vaccines for disease prevention and cure. That's the first presenter at 10:15. The opening plenary will be at 10 o'clock. And then the next segment starting at 11 o'clock will be Dr. Nanaya Abdul-Sarkodi. He's medical chief now in Baltimore. Actually, he and his wife have their own medical firm. And he will be speaking on stages of life, that the American population is growing older. What does that all mean? But so he's gonna talk about life stages, things that, now we need to look at, and then again, how is happening with public policy now benefit, taking on the trends and looking at trends. The commissioner will speak he'll be on stage starting from 12 to 1. Victor will introduce him and basically then he'll introduce the moderators, but no one's entire bio is going to be read out loud. They're be in the program. So we didn't do that last time. It worked really well. Just so what they're doing right now. Chief of medicine somewhere, And then that person speaks, the commissioner is going to give 3 minutes as an overview. He's new, so we want to be able to ask him a number of questions. So questions were sent to him. Moderators of the questions, Dr. Elizabeth Cole, who is should be the top community school of medicine person there. And Dr. Edwin Torres, who is learning so many different areas and well thought of the Columbia and the CUNY people. And then, of course, from our board, but he's not on board now, so he becomes part of the public. And then after that, there will be the youth forum will be going on separately, concurrent with our situation. They have a whole other setup dealing with let's talk, what's on your mind. And a lot of it will deal with mental stress. So we're hoping that we get a good response from young people, where the Boys and Girls Clubs, Junior 100, that's another group under 100 Black men. Whatever, if you guys know groups or churches and all, please let them know. We have information here in the QR code. Okay, and then in the afternoon, then after the youth, everyone comes together for the bias and mental stress. And as I'm speaking about this, the sponsors are tabling will be having talk sessions as well. So if you don't want to be in a particular panel, not panel, but discussion area, you can go into the flex room. Lunch will coincide, we're at 11:50, food will be there, and you can grab it and go to the table and listen to Commissioner Martin. But then after that, there's sexual health, you and your sexual health, men and women. It's not just women. See, there are young people who will participate. We have, as I mentioned, men and women. We have women, though, in this next one, women's health and maternal danger. That's a real big topic, and there are a lot of policies. There's been a lot of laws passed related to women's health that women had nothing to do with and will not benefit women. So that, brings into account public policy. People may talk about what do you want to do about it. Dr. Anderson King seems to be really on top of this, dealing with policy of women's health. So I think that would be interesting as well. And Monique has, taken her chairmanship of the task force to new vigor, and she's gotten the effects of cannabis on our schedule of presenters, and she's got a couple of doctors, one specializing in medicinal cannabis, and the other talking about the effects of cannabis, the use, whether it's medicinal or recreational. There's some considerations. So in our wrap up, we have at the time of wrap up, Dr. Julie's Gomez. That'll be 15 minutes, because in the wrap up session, there's we should all gather at 3:50, and there will be the wrap up. Dr. Gomez will wrap up what's come out of policy, what she surmises, and of course, we're hoping to be able to do a report on the forum that can be submitted. And then Cameron has agreed to talk about the 2 issues. I just threw a third one in there if he feels there's, I think it's a key issue though. We've been dealing with that Legionella. So I'm hoping, but in 5 minutes, you can talk about the action that we have in place. Like we voted on the resolution for the Health Act to approve that. We voted to approve a couple of things dealing with Legionella. And then we've had the honor of a community fellow. I know Monique was involved with that decision and selection who has done this wonderful work. And fortunately, I think only Lena did not hear him. Liz, because several people were at the executive committee, Cameron, Heather, Jordan was there. By fluke, that was good because you were there.
Yeah, I was there
You had
because
seen
it, yeah.
But it was good.
But I heard the
was
housing
there.
was great.
Yeah, and it really, his work that he's done, and Cameron assisted as his liaison and being able to interpret the study even more. He's young, he had done all that work, but presenting it.
I
you
was
know.
unable to sign on to the executive committee last time.
Oh, so okay, I knew you were.
I tried to get on, but I was not able, or either I wasn't accepted into the room or it was not, they had the wrong date in the, sign-on screen from the month prior, so I don't
Yes,
know
I
if it
knew
was
you were there, but I
recorded
didn't know what happened.
because I
Okay.
wanted to be able to hear that.
It was really good. You might, there should be the tape, of it. I think it would be
I really
worth.
wanted to see that, so if there's a way to get the videotape of the
Yeah,
executive meeting, because I was not either admitted into the room or it was not properly.
That's probably the longest thing coming.
And didn't something else happen that night with there was something else that happened that night, if I remember correctly, but I wasn't in tune because I was in person. I know that something did happen, but let's see if
I tried.
I think you would
It's
ask,
the only
Yutha?
I missed. It's the only one that I missed, because I wasn't.
Just as long as there, just, and I saw you, but I didn't know that you did here.
I tried to get on,
Okay, so,
but thank you for letting, because I really wanted to hear that presentation.
yeah, and so that means we could see if Lena, maybe, there's a way, I don't know
So
how.
it's recorded,
long
and you
it-
can get the link from the
Yeah.
district office, because I think it's
I
important.
think it
that
comes
you see
from
that.
the Manhattan Borough President's Office. I can't forget the lady's name who's the tech person.
Okay,
But you thought we would go through her.
but if you get it, if you could send it out to the team, I would really love to see that presentation.
Okay,
Thank
that
you.
would be
I have a
good.
question about Saturday.
Mhm.
So you're saying that you want people on this committee to be kind of helping with managing the panels, or not managing, but
Right,
moderating,
just
facilitating.
not by just facilitating,
Just
what I
facilitate.
say.
And do you wanna make a
Can you
sign?
come there can you get there at 9 or 9:30? We're gonna start at 10. The table setup will have started at 9 o'clock. It doesn't take them long to set up at all. It's not like big things they're bringing in.
So I'm just wondering what are the most important and useful times for us to be, maybe not, I don't know if people can stay for the whole thing. I probably cannot stay for the whole
I
time.
have a,
What times can you,
this morning would be better.
like until like,
I would definitely need to be done by now.
oh, you wouldn't stay for the commissioner?
I have two friends in town from Minnesota and it's
So 9 to 1?
birthday on Saturday. I have a friend in town for a birthday trip.
Well, that's important. So anyway, do you wanna say 9 to 1? Or 9 to 12:30?
It's in the schedule, Al, did you say?
Yeah, you can tell, it's not gonna be a whole
Yeah,
lot.
there's an email from Olivia that has the whole like panel.
Yeah, and I'll send that, I've done some of the event planning, and I did, here's the thing with the draft that I sent you. It's only a draft. There's a number of things that we're gonna modify related to color, what stands out, bold. You have it, I did it tonight.
Okay, so that's not,
Do not share, it's not final, but it's a good,
okay, but so, I mean, I was thinking, it would be good for us to know when we can be useful, right? So like, if
so just send me.
Jordan wants to leave, is it better for someone else to come in the afternoon, or do you prefer everyone?
How many?
Sorry, that's a good
Because I
point.
have church.
Okay, so how many can do, like, let's say a time, I'd like to make it 9 to 1 and then 12 to 4 like that.
You talked about facilitating, but also people who can guide people and do.
That's why I say, this is where you go, if it, if by some good fortune, the lecture hall can't hold anymore, we want to steer people to the flex room because there are talks that will be going on at the tables. It'll be a little different. That's why I don't like calling it a health fair, because they're not just like giving out. There's some studies that they're gonna recruit, would like to talk to people about, maybe recruit. We even have one cannabis guy, he's gonna talk about what his role is with the community. And so anyway, it's a discussions at each table. So let me know, there's 7 of us, I see. 7 on the committee, CUNY has a couple people. If you can't do it, I think we can probably find somebody, but I think it'd be important for the committee, for people to know you, get to really see the community in action, the people, the table sponsors. I'll have name tags.
Yeah, I think we just ordered, hopefully, lanyards and stuff that can be branding for people to wear. I was working on that with you though.
Oh, okay, cause I was thinking about just having something nice, big, that has the logo.
But it does, it's
And you
branded
can
lanyard,
still,
yeah.
but even if it's just something that identifies you as, the health.
Tiara, maybe.
Uh,
A tiara?
a
No kings, so no tiara. You're right, no queens.
Yeah.
No queens.
Yeah. Chris is on that. Chris, we just say if you come tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think you may have heard me. I have something, I raved about something.
She says
What it is, it has to do with how we want to be able to come up with a document, the state of the district or something coming out of our public health forum. And we need to figure out how to record the speakers, and it seems like Zoom cannot be used in that room. That seems strange, but I know with technology, there's nothing we can't do. Okay, somebody knows how to do it, and you are quite innovative. I didn't hear Chris say yes or no, but he's there somewhere.
Recording the sessions. That's why I asked that question a while ago.
I asked it from the beginning.
And Judy, I thought, well, Judy's gone.
But it's problematic now. Anthony, I hope I hear from Anthony. All right. Okay. Or if there's anyone else who has any ideas, because the building, a lot of it's not just up to date on some of the things, like the forum is relatively new, so they were able to build in their facility in ways that in terms of communications, they can capture it pretty well. And my regret from last time is that we didn't record each session. And that was part of the plan, but it got overlooked. And I think it could have happened that day. That guy asked about it, but I don't know if it was something.
Don't the speakers have to all be okay with that? Like, has anyone got permission?
Oh, we can, yeah. If they don't, they don't, but I think
So
that.
it can happen on the spot, you're saying they do.
Yeah, they would know beforehand. And these are ones that are accustomed to speaking as well. Let's see, I think I mentioned, yeah, these are, some of them, ones connected to Columbia, University NYP are also instructors, professors. The ones connected to CUNY School of Medicine are mostly professors, they're teaching medicine, not that they're not practicing as well. Now, I'm not sure with the youth workshop.
I wouldn't record any of that, that's. But
We'll
people wanna talk about how things.
Yeah, we'll see how that, because maybe we'll figure it out. Cause it could be recorded, they not know the names, or see, maybe it could be just sound, audio. We have to see where they don't say their names, but you know what's in it, and not captured on video. I'll see what the rules are with that, but I'll mention that I wouldn't care if they're not videotaped. Yeah, I understand that part, but maybe audio hearing.
But we can record, if you, in a public space, where we're just recording, are we gonna video take most of it?
Yeah, there is something, if you're in public,
But you taking youth into a room and have.
but I agree with you, I don't.
Yeah, but that's a different,
Yeah, that's a separate.
that's a separate, I'm talking about the presenters
Yeah.
on the stage, I think.
They know
Normally,
that they may be
No, right,
recorded.
that's-
yeah, there's an expectation, I think, now that people look
I think
forward
you're
to having
right.
it available for future review or.
I know a lot of.
I see a photographer, videographer listed, do we have anybody? Do we have somebody doing those things?
Yes, the public relations, government relations person at CUNY will have someone there from 10 to 1.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
if
they're doing
they're,
their own thing, they're not gonna stay all day, I mean.
they're 10 to 1, so I'm thinking the afternoon doctors, if some of them can come in the morning, or if they can be, telephone as follow
Take our
up.
phones,
And we can take out our phones too, but we.
bring a camera, I've got a camera.
That's not, as a facilitator, yeah, the camera. Elizabeth, I'm gonna.
That's good, yeah, a real camera.
A real, yes,
Actually,
good,
no,
as
I
a
mean-
matter of fact, most of the news that's captured seems to be coming from people's videos these days as backup, so, yeah, if you can do that, and then if,
Do different things, I mean.
and if there are any other ideas, but I'm gonna depend on the cameras, and then if in facilitating, we have people who have your phones charged, if we can, inside the room, as long as there's permission, just have it trained on the speaker and the background slides and have that take the conversation. They'll know. But we could try to sign someone, that.
So just a cell phone on a tripod?
I think so.
I think I have a tripod.
Will it go when you go, or I'll either have to be responsible for that too, which I don't mind.
I just give it back to the general board meeting.
Right, exactly.
I don't need a tripod in my day-to-day life.
Okay, thanks, Jordan. Don't forget now.
Folks, I also just,
Questions? Oh, Cameron.
yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure. I know that there were a couple of folks that were on the Zoom that I think we had invited, or Laquita, you mentioned that they could maybe potentially come to the forum. I know, I think it was Kimberly from CMS, and then maybe the folks from the lupus campaign. I know they left their emails here. I don't know if you wanted to reach out to them to follow up.
Yes, please. If whoever, if you all could just take it down and email me or email me their information, but I call her Ariel, I don't say her entire name, but she's come to several, she's part of the committee. She's representing someone though with Harlem Health Initiative, but I gotta ask her about that, and make sure her name is there, if not, but she's come to the meeting, so I know her, and I think she sent a form in, so they're gonna have a table already, Harlem Health Initiatives. Who was the other one? That's Common Threads, that's under CODA. And I believe, I have theirs as well. And I thought about it afterwards, I invited them, but I asked for all of their representatives, usually they've been under CODA Alliance, but it may just be under, in this case, Common Threads. I have to see how many, and because there is a limit to how many we can have.
So she just put the email in there.
In terms of,
Ariel?
Rachel Cohen.
Oh, Rachel did, okay.
in terms of promotion, I know I have mentioned about flyers and we can
Yes.
flyer out. Is this the extent of what we
That's
have?
what's left, yes, so.
And I'm gonna go next door and ask for more flyers so I can.
Yeah,
Put 'em out.
Yes, or send her a text to Ashley and.
Well, I wanted to get it while I was here, so I don't have to come back.
No, she probably can print some out.
Yeah, I don't wanna print out anything from my printer, cause that's a lot of ink.
No, but yeah, you have to pick it up. Okay, let's see, I think let me just look at the. Outline, just to see if there's, anything else, yeah, she. So she may be leaving. Let me see, so. Yeah, so the chief, yeah. everything like pull up the draft,
Would it be helpful to come in the morning? Is that when you think would be the most useful? So I'm happy to come from 9 to whatever. but
I wish I could engage it.
Yeah.
Here's what I would like for you to do, even do it tonight, please. I need to have a count. And I know a lot of people with all of these, they very seldom, unless it's a paid event, you don't have a count as to how many will come or who's. So I'd like for you to, even though you're a member of the committee, we need a count of how many people are there.
You mean RSVP, is that you mean?
Yes, there's a QR code and there's.
Oh,
a
you want us to
link.
register?
And it's even on the, to register,
Okay.
there's a link. There's a QR code and link on the draft that I sent you, it goes straight to registration.
Yeah, and it's on the flyers. So do you need help with that shit? Do we need to sit there?
Well, you know what,
Clear.
I
You're-
have to, last time the district office handled all of that, but I think it would be good if we had, the names, and then all you have to do is check off the names or have people write their name and.
We have
make
the
sure
sign-in
it's
sheet.
legible. The sign-in sheet.
We have one. Let me see.
They develop one
Okay.
and then,
Okay.
we'll use it. Make sure that, I think most important, make sure the email address is correct. If they will provide a telephone number, that's good, but they may not. But just make sure the email address is readable, that their names are readable. And if there's an actual mailing address, because every once in a while there's good use for that. Because we may wanna just do a survey in terms of how many, came from our district. Just from that sign-in sheet, we can gauge certain things.
So you're asking us to make one, or you're saying?
No, we'll do.
Or you'll make, yeah, okay.
But to be there, I would say if you could be there at 9 o'clock, that would be good.
Okay.
Okay,
So help in any way possible. Introduce yourselves, just be friendly, and I'm part of the, I'm a member of the community board. Specifically, health and environment committee, that's important for people to see.
I have literally 2 health forums the same day, but I will be there at this one for a priority, and then another organization is having one on environmental health.
Well, you have to
As
be
in
present
Brooklyn,
first.
Black Trade Union, Coalition of Black Trade Unions,
Oh, really?
but they're further out, so this is my first time.
Okay, how many among us, I know Monique stepped out for a minute. How many can be there in the morning? Lena in the morning, Jordan, 9 o'clock. I mean, that's good in and of itself. Then in the afternoon. You could be there all day. I mean, that would really be great. Liz is thinking. Heather would be more afternoon.
Probably, I'm gonna check to see what responses.
Be sure. Okay, be sure you email me tomorrow. Okay.
So it officially starts at 11, right? That's what.
No, oh, golly, I forgot to mention, they have.
Oh, now this one says.
It's the
10.
new one, 10.
I see.
When the
This is old.
commissioner said, yes, we had to manipulate the schedule, so I didn't know, what's that, the save the date, leave that here.
Such a nice one, you did such pretty.
Drawn. Yeah, but they're. You see the other one? If you wanna take it and put a 0,
And just
yeah, you can do that, use a marker.
old
Just
fashioned.
don't forget to do it though.
Yeah, yes.
Actually, take all of those things.
I don't have any work in my building, so I don't need.
Okay. So let's see what else is there, So you look at some things that are here are just placeholders like that, map of the floor plan. You couldn't find it, so I think I'm gonna just have. Only one food, right? It's the flex plan is, the flex room rather, but it's actually, we're using 2 lecture rooms. The faculty dining and the faculty dining room, and 4, and the flex.
So wait, is it the contact on the first or the fourth? Where's it gonna
The
be?
flex
Oh,
room
that's
will be in the
NAC, that
same,
stands for the.
the flex room will be the same room that we use when we've had community meetings there. and community boards. Yeah, that's a nice room.
Yeah.
So that's where the exhibits will be.
I know City will
In
too.
that. and you enter on the ground floor. I meant to correct that Judy felt that you could enter on Amsterdam. They're gonna not have security at that side. So we can only enter from the Convent Avenue side, ground floor.
Okay, yeah.
And we'll have the post.
We need
Yeah,
to call
we're
this
gonna have
meeting
our
to a
classes
close
before
before
And
you leave.
I think we can call the meeting to an end. I need a motion.
Second motion
Hold
to
on,
end the
let's
meeting.
Have a forum and sorry when we.
Does anybody want flowers? It's everybody, I came in late and I didn't say good evening, so I apologize.
Monique, our meeting is still going on, but we're waiting to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, and it is it's 8:20, the meeting is adjourned at 8:26.
They have the wrong.
Right.
date.
Hey, Edwin.
So they're right.
Oh.